Hey y'all, welcome back to Nini's Texas Kitchen. Today we're going to make something new. We're going to make chocolate strawberry cake. So if you like chocolate covered strawberries, you ought to really like this cake. And then we're going to frost it with a strawberry flavored frosting and put a chocolate glaze dripping down the sides. So I went ahead and prepared two 9-inch round pans. Here my oven is preheating to 350 degrees. So for the cake itself, the ingredients that we're going to need are 1 stick, which is a half a cup of softened butter at room temperature. We need 1/4 of a cup of cooking oil. I'm using canola. That's what I like to use. In this, I have a half a teaspoon of strawberry extract and a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract together. And then you need 3 eggs. We need 1 2/3 cups of sugar, and then we need 2 cups of sifted cake flour along with a little bit shy of 2/3 of a cup of cocoa sifted. That's what's in here. And then I have about 1 cup of freeze-dried strawberries that I've chopped up in my food processor to make them finer. And then we have 1 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And that's the ingredients, plus 1 1/3 cups of water for the liquid in here. So the first thing that we need to do is beat our butter stick until it is creamy, which won't take long because it's soft. Now I'm going to add in my oil. Now I'm going to add in the sugar, which remember is 1 2/3 cups of sugar. Now we'll add in our 3 eggs. We'll add in our strawberry and our vanilla extract. Now I'm going to add this to this and whisk it up with just a regular whisk, just to mix it well. 2 cups cake flour sifted, 2/3 cups of cocoa sifted, 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. So that's combined. So now you're going to take this and add about 1/3 of it and then some of the water, and then you keep alternating like that until you get that all mixed, and then we'll add in our strawberries. So I'm going to put about 1/3 of that in. Turn your mixer on low. Add a little bit of the water. And then it's 1 1/3 cups of water. Don't forget about that. And just keep combining to get it all mixed together. And I'll make sure I'll scrape down the sides here just in a minute. Just want to get most of this combined together first. And the rest of the water. If you were making this for like a holiday party or something, you could get some fresh strawberries and clean them good and then dip them in chocolate. And then when it hardens, you could put them on top to decorate. I'm not going to go do that today, but that's just another decorating idea that you could do for this cake. Let me scrape down the sides, and then we'll add in our strawberries, and then we'll get them in the oven to bake. Scrape down our sides to make sure we get all of our dry ingredients in there. And now we'll add in our strawberries. So kind of loosen them up. They tend to want to stick together a little bit and once you chop them, but that's okay. You can just loosen them up gently with your fingers. And then you just want to beat those all in really well. Trying not to have really huge chunks or anything like that in it. So do it on high speed for a minute or so. Looks smooth and combined. Get these over here. Okay, now we'll add them to our pans. And then we'll get them in to bake. It's going to bake at 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. So you want to evenly distribute it between the two. So I'll do a little bit in one and then I'll come put some in the other one and then go back to the first one. You want to get it as even as possible. And I mean, you can stick it on a scale and weigh it to make sure you're getting the same amount in both. But I'm not doing that today. If I was trying to take it somewhere, you know, for a fancy, you know, Christmas party or dinner party or something like that, then I would do that. But today, just making it at home, making a video showing you guys how to make it. So now shake it to evenly distribute it and to get out any big air holes that might be in it. You don't want big air holes. All right. So now we'll stick it in the oven. So for the ones that are my regulars, they know that I always do the lowest time first, and then I'll check it at about 2 to 3 to 5 minute intervals after that if it's not ready yet. So if you're new, that's what I always do. So we'll be back in a little bit when they're ready, and we'll show you how we're gonna ice it. All right, y'all, our cakes are ready and they've been cooling for about 30 minutes, 40 minutes now. So I took them out and I left them cooling in the pans for about 15 minutes, and then I turned them out of the pans, and then I've let them been cooling for about 20 minutes now. So what we're gonna do is make a very lightly flavored strawberry frosting that we'll put over it, and then once we're done with that, we'll come back and show you the chocolate glaze that we're gonna pour over the top to let it drip down the sides. So for this frosting, we're going to use 2 sticks of butter, 4 cups of powdered sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 of a cup of milk, and about 3/4 of a cup of the freeze-dried strawberry powder, and then a couple of drops of pink food coloring just to make it pink. So the first thing that we want to do is beat our butter until it's fluffy. It won't take long because the butter has been softening at room temperature for a while. Now I'm going to add in, I'll go ahead and add in the strawberries. Mix that in. And we'll add our powdered sugar. Add in the vanilla. And then start it out slow so you don't fling your powdered sugar out all over the place. We may not need our food coloring, we'll see at the end. I don't want it to be garishly pink, I just want it to be lightly pink. All right, so I'm gonna add in just a little bit of the milk. Don't add all the milk at first. You don't want it to get too runny. I think it's gonna be pink enough to not need the food coloring. Add a little more milk. All right, I went ahead and added all the milk. And you want to just beat it on high speed until you get it nice and fluffy. All right. Okay, that part's done. And it doesn't need the food coloring, so I'm going to leave that out. I wasn't sure how light or dark it was going to be. So I think it's perfect like that. So now I'm going to put some on this bottom in the middle. Like so. And spread that out. More on this side. Okay, now we'll put our other cake on top. There we go. Now, let's add frosting on top, and then we'll do a little on the sides and scrape to give it that thinner frosting look on the sides, because we're going to drip chocolate glaze down the sides anyway. On the top and down the sides, I should say. Okay. All right. Just putting some on here at first, and then I'll spread it. Just trying to get it kind of evenly distributed on here. A bit more. Okay, now we'll spread it around on there. You can pick some up and put it anywhere that you've missed a spot. You want it to be nice and even across your cake. Tiny bit more. Put here. Okay. Now I'm going to take my scraper and I'm just going to go across the sides. Go. Just smooth everything out. All right, and now take a paper towel and you can clean the edge of your cake plate like this, just to neaten it up a little. There we go. All right, now we'll make the chocolate glaze to drip all over the top and down the sides. So for this, these are the ingredients that we're going to need. It's 2 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of water, a half of a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and 1/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. So the first thing that you do is melt your butter. We're going to make this glaze in the microwave. So I'm just going to put it in there and melt it. And then add the water and the cocoa and stir that up. And then I'm going to heat it at 30-second increments until it starts to get thickened a little bit. It won't take long. Maybe 30 seconds to a minute or so. And then I'm going to add in the powdered sugar and the vanilla. And then if I need to add a little bit of water, I'll add like half a teaspoon of water at a time until it's the pouring consistency that I want. So whenever it's done, I'll come back and show you that part. All right, so I heated it up in the microwave, as you can see. And I only did it for another 30 seconds and it already got thickened. So it doesn't take long. Now we'll add in our powdered sugar. And beat that in with a mixer. And you can do it by hand. It's better to use a mixer because you want your chocolate, your powdered sugar to beat in really, really well and not have big white lumps in it, like it might if you were doing it by hand. If it's ever too thin, you can add a little bit more powdered sugar and that'll thicken it up. And this will harden on the outside slightly, like a regular glaze would do. So we're gonna let it sit here for a few minutes to cool down slightly, and then we'll pour it over the top. So we'll be back in just a minute. All right, so it's ready. I'm going to pour it in the middle. And then let it drip down. Coax it over here. See how it's making pretty little drips? If you need some more because you didn't get quite enough drips in certain areas, you can take a little spoon and let the drips run down in that particular location. Slightly more. Looks pretty good in most spots to me. I'm happy with that. So that is our cake. I'm not going to cut it right now because I want to let the glaze finish firming up on the outside. And like I said, if you wanted to make this to take like to a party or a special celebration or something like that, you could get some strawberries and then you could dip them in the dipping chocolate, let them harden, and then you could decorate the top with them to make it fancier looking. But anyway, that's my chocolate strawberry cake. So if you liked my video making chocolate strawberry cake, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, share my video with others, go back and watch my other videos that I have. We've had this channel for several years now, and I just want to give a big shout out to all my subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate y'all. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and that notification button. We'll see y'all next time in Nini's Texas Kitchen.